Hello, I'm Becky Orozco. I'm the project community liaison for Camp Naco. And one of our major projects is collecting the stories of the people who lived and knew Camp Naco. And today we are lucky to have with us a direct descendant of the Newell family. Take it away.
I'm Susan Ridgeway. I am the great granddaughter of Winifred Newell, whose brother was John Newell, who settled this area, this camp. First time I came here, I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and we drove up to the big long house, and I remember the very old cars. It was in the early 50s, so they had those kind of long, smooth backs on them, and the car was green. It was green instead of black like, a lot of them were at that time. Anyway, I was so excited because I was going to be meeting for the first time a very distant cousin who was about my age.
Who was that cousin?
Her name was Martha Ann, and she was I think she was the granddaughter of Tommy Newell or
Okay.
Harry Newell, one of them.
Okay.
So going back to the first time, yes, we get out of the car, we go into this little room that smelled like lunch had just been fixed, sort of like cabbage, kind of like cabbage. And I remember that there were lace curtains on every window down this very long room.
And today that's the hospital building that we are going to turn into the museum.
And thank you so much for letting me go back in it. It was such a thrill. Brought back some very vivid memories.
Oh. And you stayed there?
I didn't stay there. My grandmother had come down to visit because John Newell was her uncle. So we stayed a little while, and you know how little kids are. You're sitting there sort of fidgeting, and in those days it was children are to be seen and not heard. So,
what are some of the stories you remember about your visits here, special stories?
oh gosh, when we were probably 9 or 10, came back down, and Martha had come back up because she lived in Mexico somewhere with her parents. And she was here again, so Grandma said, well, let's take your roller skates, and I'm thinking, what for? It's just dirt out there. So we came down, and Martha comes running out, and so we went over to one of the other barracks, I guess. It was very long that had a concrete floor. So we strapped on our skates to our saddle Oxfords with the little key and did our best to get from one end of the hall to the other and back again. It was a lot of fun. Just loved it. That's one of my fondest memories of coming down.
Any other ones that you can think of?
Well, I remember that anytime I came down here with my grandma, I was really excited, especially when I was 11 or 12 years old, because she let me drive her car. So we would pull out from visiting Aunt Jenny, and we would go around the corner when Wilson was all dirt, and I got to drive the car. And I remember Aunt Jenny saying, "Oh, Mary, don't let her do that." I have a picture of Aunt Jenny standing in front of her house over there with her brand new 1958 Edsel.
That would be wonderful if we could get a copy.
I will look at that. I will very much look for that.
Okay, wonderful. Because we are looking for photos of when people lived here, and we've the Healy's are gathering some for us, but we're looking. That would be wonderful to have some.
I just wish I had pictures of the inside of the places, but back then you don't have an iPhone. I didn't even have a camera, I don't think, at that age.
So, do you remember, when was the last time you were here, when they lived here? Do you remember?
Oh, gosh. After Uncle Johnny died, somewhere around...
The mid-'80s, wasn't it?
You know what? I don't know. You know, by the time you have a driver's license and you can go where you want to go, who's going to come back down here? I know we used to come by and Grandma would bring Christmas cookies or whatever, but I don't remember stopping in much after that when I got older.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.